History Science Theater 3000. I'm your host, Horace McHorseface, and on today's episode, we shall delve into the age of superstition, seen from 1550 to 1650 in early Europe. This time set a period of paranoia for the people of early Europe, guided only by the logical belief of alchemy and witchcraft. For 100 years, any development in social and governmental structure was halted in favor of Europe's infamous witch trials. Though shrouded in darkness, we emerged in 1650 to a new sense of reasoning that disregarded such silly beliefs, allowing us to advance as a civilization. However, one must wonder, what if Europe's age of superstition had continued to this day? From the 13th century to the early 18th century, the commercial revolution allowed for a massive expansion in trade and colonization, helping the economy of all countries involved. But within the age of superstition, newcomers and outsiders were viewed as being potential witches. Thus, had the age of superstition continued, traders from any country besides their own would have been shunned away.
I come from France. Buy my baguette.
Witch! Within an age that viewed almost everything that conflicted against the church's views as being witchcraft, it is very possible that the scientific revolution could have been glossed over completely. Though a smaller scale mini revolution could have occurred, it would have most likely been driven by the belief of alchemy, and so any sense of scientific reasoning would not have been developed.
Sentieri. Oh, sentieri.
As for feminism, it would have been virtually non-existent. The witch trials of Europe targeted a large population of women, from elderly women.
Hurry up, Louise! They're catching up! Dang millennials!
Selma, I told you, I'm getting too old for this shit!
To single women. The credibility of women would constantly be questioned, and any power of any kind would remain strictly male-dominated, which means no Queen Elizabeth I.
I mean, it's still not as bad as marrying Philip.
And no Margaret Thatcher.
No more milk for the children. They can pay for their own milk.
In Europe, during World War I, while the men went to war, the women stayed at home and kept the stability of their country's economy by taking up industrial jobs. However, in a world of superstition, such actions would have been shunned by Europe. Thus, with the men at war and the women unable to help their country, the economy of Europe would have been in shambles. Along with such, women would have never brought about the argument of women's suffrage into the public eye, and so any attempts to secure such women's rights would all have been in vain.
Yeah, big money! Yeah. Oh my god!
Riches! 400 years later, we would not have advanced our society much had the age of superstition continued to this day. There would be no religious toleration, no international trading, no proper scientific reasoning, and no women's rights. In fact, any intellectual women would be labeled as
Oh, sir, have you ever heard of the Blair Witch?
Yeah, she's over there.
What? Swallow. What's wrong?
Blair Witch, she's here!
Ah!
And so concludes this episode of Hinge of Fate. I'm your host, Horace McHorseface. Stay classy.